Hello, everyone, and welcome to the men's basketball season preview 2014. I'm Torrence Sorrell.
And I'm Nick Fortin.
And we're going to talk about the guards today. So I guess we can start off talking about Tracy Abrams, of course.
Yeah, I assumed that was going to be the first topic of conversation, and it should be. Abrams, for those of you who don't know, senior point guard, is out for the season after tearing his ACL in his right knee. And it's a major loss for the team, wouldn't you say so, Torrence?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the one who embodies the toughness and togetherness. And I know we talked about this on the Illini Drive as well. That's a player that Gross really likes a lot. And it's even players and coaches and other conferences, ask a lot about Tracy because he's just so tough. He's probably not the prototypical offensive guard, but he's one who is definitely going to attack the rim.
I talked to his AAU coach and his high school coach for a story I did on him. And they both said he wasn't the prototypical point guard because he was a combo guard coming out of high school. And, he fit better into Weber's system. But like you said, Gross loves him. He loves the tenacity. He loves the toughness, They've both been talking back and forth. Everyone talks about Tracy's toughness and about how he's going to rebound from this and be better. And, I can't help but agree with them.
And then I guess one positive you could take from this is that obviously it's unfortunate that he's injured, but you're going to have a lot of guys who step up now. A lot of the younger guys. You're going to have people like Tate and Starks, making his debut. So, fans still want to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think we should probably move to the guys that will be on the floor, for the Illini this year. And like you said, Starks and Jalen Tate Ahmad Starks, mind you, will be, the 2 point guards for Gross and Gross's system. And they both look, honestly, more prototypical point guard than Tracy did, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and then Starks, he's a real strong guard. Obviously, he's undersized. I know he's going to get a lot of questions about that, but he's a real good ball handler. And the Illini really need a guard who could just go to the basket and kind of create for their own, except for more so guards that shoots a lot.
He can totally create on his own. That's what at least that I saw at the Illini All-In scrimmage. Is that, he can create on his own, and he's not scared to create against anyone.
Right.
I mean, they had a switch on D. He got a pick from, I don't even remember who, but the switch was Nana D'd him up on the outside. And, most guards that are listed at 5'9", probably more like 5'6", would not want to square it up and shoot over Nana, especially from 3 on a fadeaway. But, the confidence and the coolness and just, all of that, Ahmad did, and I'm almost positive he hit. So, it's going to be a hit or miss season, but hopefully it's hit for Ahmad Starks.
Yeah, he's also going to bring in that experience, too. He's a senior, and you kind of need someone to fill Tracy's void, kind of leading the young guys on for the team. But speaking of young guys, I guess we could move on to Tate now, and he actually played a little bit of minutes last year as well, and he shows a lot of flashes of being a real good guard from a distributed tip. But I know one thing he probably needs to work on a little more is his shooting. He shot, I believe, 27% from the field goal line over the season, and that's not ideal for a guard.
No, it's not. I mean, 1.8 points per game for him. And granted, he was thrown into the fire as a freshman. Not many players can perform as well as, even he did as a freshman, except for, let's say, Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn came on and played amazing last year in the 2-guard spot for the Illini. And I think, like you said, Jalen and Kendrick will continue to grow, and they'll, if they stay all 4 years, will be a very, very solid, 1-2 punch for guards with Gross's system.
And he also played together in Simeon, so
that's true. They got the Simeon connection.
And I guess moving on to Nunn now, I know you touched a little bit on his injury. He didn't play so much. He really didn't play at all during the Illini All-In, and that's somebody who fans want to see develop over the years. So I guess touch a little bit on his injury.
Well, okay. So from what I've heard. Right, from what Gross has been saying, from what the players have been saying, he, at some point, end of last year, I assume maybe beginning of summer, hurt one of his knees. I don't even remember if Gross said which knee it was, but they've basically been taking this super, super slow. At the All-In, he still wasn't doing full contact practices. So he was practicing beforehand, and we saw him, and he looked good, he looked sharp, but, the scrimmage section or portion of the Illini All-In starts, and he's on the bench because they don't want to risk the knee. They're cool with him just being a little. They're a little tentative with him, but that's fine as long as he comes back healthy.
Yeah, and I think one game that really made him known last year, from what I remember, is the Penn State game when it was in that 8-game losing streak, and he just came in blazing. I think he finished off with 19 points, and that game really gave him a name. Really on campus, really.
Yeah, I remember that game.
They beat Penn State twice.
Yep.
Now I guess he really doesn't like Penn State.
No, that the whole DJ Newbill incident, right? Is that
we got in his face.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's those Chicago players, man, pretty gritty.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I guess we could move on now to Cosby, another transfer. He's Seton Hall transfer. So from what I heard about him, he's a real good 3-point shooter.
He is, and he looked like he was going to be. I mean, just looking at stats, 38.8% from three over his career, so 2 seasons at Seton Hall, 10.1 points per game. Gross, and I don't know if this is Gross just upping his guys or whatever, referred to him as someone who you would look at sort of like Reggie Miller or Ray Allen, guys that can catch off of cuts and score. And he said that's a real difficult shot. Not a lot of his guys have ever been able to do that. But he compared, Cosby to Ray Allen in that sense, sort of like, could catch off cuts, could make floaters, could, spot up and shoot, could, handle the ball, could drive the ball, could do this, could do that. And honestly, at the all-in, he looked a little timid. And granted, that could be, he plays against this defense every day. They know what he does. He didn't want to really do a whole lot, but hopefully he plays well during the season.
Yeah, and he also had a great off-season campaign, too. He's in China. I think he averaged roughly 18 points, and that's something real good, too. He was also crowned the team's most improved, too.
Oh, yeah, he was last year. And, I mean, Gross has said that, he came in sort of as a competitor who kind of picked and chose his days when he wanted to play, when he didn't really want to play. But over the course of his sit-out year, he told me that, basically the thing was the only time he got to compete was practice, so he took practice as serious as he will games. And he worked on that to the point that legitimately Gross said whenever he laces him up now, it's like you got to go hard or you're going home because he's going to beat you.
So I guess Malcolm Hill has a real interesting situation because he's a 4, but he's a guard too.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say we should group him and Ray together because of the fact that, they're listed as guards, and I guess Gross has said in the past that, we run a 4-guard, like Malcolm was the 4th guard in our 4-guard lineup last year, but really he's like a small forward, or even like maybe a power forward if they run small. But both him and Ray is, a great player, honorable mention All Big Ten, led the Illini with 15.9 points per game, just great overall player. Led the team in steals, too, I'm pretty sure. And Malcolm came on strong, had 6.5 points per game and over 2.9 rebounds as a starter in the last 12 games. So I'm looking for big things from both of them.
Yeah, and also one of our colleagues actually sitting over here, too, Alex Drew. I like the article you wrote about Malcolm Hill being an old man. He has this old man type game, but he get buckets. And he's not the most fastest guy on the court, but he's kind of play real fundamental.
He does.
Fundamentally sound.
He does.
And I definitely expect him to almost average close to a double-double this year. I want to see more rebounds from him this year, just get more physical.
He should be able to do that. He threw down a monster dunk in the Illini All-In that got the crowd real crazy. It was amazing.
Him and Ray Rice went at it.
They did go back and forth. Malcolm showed that he is not afraid of the big shot. He knocked down a 3 with, I want to say, 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
to tie the game at, I guess, the quarter-long scrimmage at 21, and Ray came down, and as Ray does, cool, calm, collected, as he likes to say, he knew he had to drill the shot. Those are his words.
Yeah.
And he drilled it,
You want to see that, though. You want to see a sophomore take it to the senior. You don't want to be scared of him. So I kind of like seeing that.
Malcolm said in practice that he always tells Ray when they go at it to go 100%. He wants Ray's best so he can be at his best.
So I guess we can mention some of the other guys on the team. Probably not going to be playing as much, but obviously should be mentioned. Mike LaTulip, one of your favorite players.
Oh, I love Mike LaTulip. No, honestly, he's proven to be an all-right shooter, but he just doesn't get the playing time because he's not as fast or as strong or, honestly, as good as a lot of the other players in Gross's system. No offense, LaTulip, if you're actually watching this, but you're probably not going to play this year. I mean, he played 12 games and had 11 points last season.
He'll light you up in the offseason, though. That's something he'll do.
Apparently, he'll light you up on Twitter, too, if you go at him. So,
Let's move on to Alex Austin, a junior EIU transfer. Don't really know too much about him, but he averaged 8.2 points, and he's 185 pounds, so that's going to be a guy who's definitely going to need more beef. Get a little bit stronger, especially playing a Big Ten play while it's so physical.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't look up, honestly, thank you for doing some looking up of Alex Austin and his stats. All I know is that he's from Eastern and he's sitting out this year, and let's hope that he follows the trend of, Ray and Starks and Aaron of becoming, better players all around.
Well, thank you for listening to what we have to say about the guards for the upcoming season. Torrence Sorrell.
I'm Nick Fortin.
You can also follow us at DI Sports, and you can also follow myself at The Real TS4.
And you can follow me at Illini Sports Guy. I may not tweet often, but when I do, it's quite monumental.
Thank you, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos.